Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Die Party Fiasco, the Road Trip. Is that what it's called? The Road Trip? I don't fucking remember, actually. I should look that up. Is it called the Road Trip?
I think it's just called Road Trip.
It's called Road Trip. Die Party Fiasco Road Trip. Hey, guys. We've got some character names for y'all. Let me introduce to you Hamilton Ryback and his brother, Chesterfield Ryback.
Hello.
Hello.
My
name is Hamilton Ryback. Fuck it, we're doing this.
Oh, God.
And let me introduce our traveling companion, Kraz.
Yeah.
That's it? You're just going to go with the Graham voice? I was thinking you're going to go like something like, Motherfucker, I'm Kraz!
We're not playing yet. What's the matter with you?
Anyways, guys, so we have decided that the rules, the overarching story of this game is that Hamilton and Chesterfield are brothers. They're just sweet brothers. I'd imagine that Brian is a little older.
Mm-hmm.
Chesterfield is a little older than Hamilton. And you're also probably a lot stronger than Hamilton is.
I'll take that.
Yeah? Like, why don't you explain who Chesterfield is and what he does and stuff like that?
Right now.
Because you don't have an occupation, right? So why are you on this trip?
What I'm saying is, right now Chesterfield, he's sort of in between jobs, and his brother Hamilton gave him a call a few days back saying that he had a patient that he needs help with. See, my brother Hamilton, he's like a nurse type, health practitioner type person.
That he is, yes.
And so Hamilton phoned me up and said that he had a patient that he was sure I would be familiar with, and was asking if I could help him out with a little bit of a situation.
All right, so Kraz, why don't you fill this out? How do you and Hamilton know each other by family?
It's a good question. We're all family. Every one of us. Is it?
That's it? You just call us family? Like, are you a good friend of the family? Like how did you come to be a part of the Rybacks?
How did I come to be? Well, let me tell you a long story.
Shorten it down.
Well, in the beginning,
God created man.
God created Kraz. And here we are, and sometimes you just gotta let him go.
All right, Kraz. Thank you for that.
We all got a little bit of Kraz in us.
All right.
You gotta let me go.
So Kraz has become...
No one knows is the answer.
Yeah. Kraz has become a little unruly as a patient. He keeps screaming about Sasquatches and the country where they reside, also known as Sasquatch country. He keeps saying stuff about, longitude and latitude inside of my head, that sort of thing. So basically, being a good nurse, Hamilton Ryback decides the only way to cure this man is to take him to this location. So they pull out a map, they Google the location, and it turns out that this so-called Sasquatch country is about 2 weeks' drive from where we are currently. Would you say that's about right, Graham? Oh, sorry, Kraz?
I think you can get anywhere in the United States in 1 week.
1 week? Okay. Well, let's say 1 week's drive.
All right.
And so we are going to. I have enlisted my brother Brian
Chesterfield.
Chesterfield. Sorry, and we are going to take Graham to this location. So
Should we clearly state our relationship with Kraz, though?
no, the
Okay.
only relationship that you two. I don't know. Maybe you two like. I don't know, like Eskimo brothers or something. I don't know.
He's married
Well,
to my
no.
sister.
Well, I was gonna say maybe he married our sister Marilyn, and we haven't heard from Maryland either. I don't know, something like that.
Well, no, I mean, like maybe Marilyn's just worried sick about Kraz.
Yeah, there you go.
because of these
Maryland's
numbers.
worried about him.
Yeah, okay, that
So
works.
we're gonna
So
take
we're
care of
doing
him.
this for our beloved sister.
Sure.
That sounds right, Graham. You cool with that?
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this fucking party started. All right. So Act 1. The way that Act 1 plays, Brian, in case you're wondering, is that. So the basics is you take turns, and your character gets a scene. In Act 1, you can choose whatever die you receive at the end. You have to give it to another player. But the way that it works is you get to choose either to set up a scene, and in this case, you're going to be at the poorly marked hiking trail because you're going to go first. And you can choose to have that scene with another character, and you can have a discussion there. And maybe something happens at the scene or whatever. This is sort of like the part that gets sticky because we're not sure how this is going to work because the scenes are always changing, right?
Sure.
So maybe you can either set up what you want to happen in the scene, what the result of the scene is. So whatever you want the result to be, the scene, good or bad, you get to have that dice and give it to someone else. But then the two people have to act out whatever happens in that scene. If you want to set up the scene, like maybe it's raining, maybe it's like you left something on the mountain when you were camping, so you have to go back up, something like that. You know, something silly. You can define those things, but you don't get to choose the outcome of the scene. And then I get to say, because there's three of us, get to say whether you and Graham, whatever you want to happen in that scene, whether it happens or it doesn't happen. And if I say that it doesn't happen, then you have to make sure that it doesn't happen within the scene, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
So either you can choose a result, or you can choose what happens in the scene with an outcome that you want to happen.
Okay. So I think I will set up the scene.
Okay? Yep.
Basically, let's see. About a week ago, I got a phone call from my brother Hamilton saying that our sister's estranged husband, who we only know by the name of Kraz at this point, nobody remembers his real name anymore.
He's eternal. He's always
Yeah.
been.
Hamilton calls me up and says that he thought that he found a way to sort of medically help Kraz by maybe taking him to this mythical Sasquatch country that he's always talking about. And so Hamilton has informed me that Kraz has sort of planned out this trip for us, and in order to satiate Kraz's needs and make him not lose his mind, Hamilton wants to play along with it. But just in case anything bad happens, he wanted Chesterfield to come along.
Okay.
So the reason we're meeting at a poorly marked hiking trail is because that's probably really the only place that Kraz feels safe. At the start of this journey. Hamilton said he was mumbling something about coordinates, and this is where we needed to start.
Okay. So what do you want
the
to...
the scene is going to be me meeting up with Hamilton and Kraz. They've already met at the Port of the Mark hiking trail. I'm just grabbing a cab to get there because Hamilton has his Range Rover. And basically, in the scene is going to be discussing and trying to figure out where exactly Kraz wants us to go, and also Hamilton laying forth his plan of how this is actually going to help Kraz get better.
Okay, and what do you want? What do you want the result of the scene to be?
I think the result of the scene should be that Hamilton and Chesterfield basically agree to set forth this delusional road trip for Kraz.
Okay. Well, we're going to go on it regardless.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I don't understand then. What do you mean, like the outcome?
Okay, so the idea is that you want to have a scene with either myself or Graham. You can't have it with both of us.
Oh, it can't be with both.
No.
Oh.
So maybe you want to go there and you want the result of the scene to be that you want to be able to calm Graham down or calm Chaz down enough to get him in the car or something like that.
Okay. Yeah. Well, all right. So then I'll be meeting up with them, and and Chaz or I'm sorry, Chesterfield and Hamilton will be. We'll have that discussion about helping Kraz out and then trying to get him in the car to get the road trip started.
So you're having the conversation with Chaz or you're having the conversation with Hamilton?
With
I
Hamilton.
think, yeah, I say that it starts here because this is where you had to come get me because I'm in a tree.
Okay, so the result of the conversation maybe is you get
me into the car.
get
him into the car.
Okay. So
Because as much as he wants to go on the road trip, he's terrified of being in confined spaces. I don't know.
Alright.
I'm terrified of non-height.
So I think here's what I think you need to have happen. You need to have a conversation with Kraz, and you need to convince him that the car is
out
safe.
of the tree.
Yes.
Okay.
At the poorly marked hiking trail, because Chaz is the only one that goes up there.
Who?
Okay. Kraz.
Kraz.
Krez, not Chaz.
Yeah, I
I
keep
wanted
saying.
him to be named
Alright,
Chaz. I wouldn't have named him Chaz.
Now go, and I'm going to be choosing whether or not Graham comes peacefully or not peacefully. If he comes peacefully, that's a yes, and if he doesn't come peacefully, it's a no. So there you go.
Okay. All right. So I walk up. I sort of give a wave to Hamilton, and Hamilton sort of points his thumb up this tall tree, and I see Kraz kind of, I guess, sitting up there, and I'm going to yell up to him and say, "Kraz, it's your brother-in-law, Chesterfield."
Who goes there?
It's Chesterfield. Chester.
Who?
You know me, Chesterfield.
Are you the ferryman?
It's your wife's brother. You know Maryland? Remember Maryland?
Sweet spirit, what souls are these who run through this black haze?
Are you looking to get out of that black haze, Kraz?
What is the meaning of this harsh inscription?
I can guide you out of that world if you just give me your hand.
I saw a banner upon the mist, circling and circling. It seemed to score in all pause, so it ran on and still behind it pressed. Are you
What
the
is that?
ferryman here to ferry me across the river Styx?
I am the ferryman, and I'll make sure you make it to your destination safe and in one piece.
Master, I long to know what souls these are.
Graham's good.
You'll find out soon enough.
All right.
Come with me on the ferry.
Was that a gold or was that a good?
That was a good, yeah.
All right, so he comes in the car then.
Yep. Graham, how do you get down from the tree?
Backflip.
You just land gracefully, like. All right, so I guess we're all in the car at the end of that. So the way that it works in Act 1 is that you get given a die, right? So you get given a good die. Who do you want to give it to? You have to give it to someone.
I give someone a good die.
Yeah.
I will give it to Kraz, to Graham.
Okay, there you go, Graham. You don't have to explain your reasoning, but you should.
My reasoning is I have no idea what that means, so I'm just doing it.
Cool,
And Graham
there you
was
go.
the first
That's all
name
you
that
need.
popped in my head.
That's all you need. All right. So the next scene, it takes place in the middle of nowhere. We're probably driving across the Salt Lake, or something like that. Some bullshit. It's just as far as the eye can see, like just horizon, basically. Okay. We're on a single road going through the middle of a couple of salt lakes. I like that idea. I don't know where the fuck we are in the world, but this is what's happening. So I want to have a conversation with Chesterfield.
Okay.
And and the result of the conversation is I want him to constantly be on guard with Kraz, and maybe even like have to sedate him if things get unnecessarily violent. So, Graham, you can decide whether or not Chesterfield goes along with this, I guess.
Okay.
All right. So, driving along, it's almost nighttime. Stars slowly coming up or whatever. And I turn to Chesterfield and it's like, Chesterfield.
Yes, brother.
It is I, Hamilton Ryback, your brother.
Okay, yeah, we won't be having
thanks for
we won't be having that.
Thanks for announcing yourself after we've already been hanging out together for hours.
Yes. I have a stipulation about you coming along.
Stipulation?
Yes. Kraz there, I've seen him deteriorate over the past couple of weeks. He's getting worse, which is why we are doing it now. Dear Marilyn, she is just worried, just sick about Kraz. I've seen him, we all know what he was like before. Now he's got these numbers floating around in his mind. I fear that he might get violent. How would you feel about sedating the man if he gets too much?
Well, I mean, I guess if it comes down to it, and I'm forced to, I would have to, but how violent has he gotten in the past?
You want to put in your vote, Graham, for whether you want that to happen or not?
We'll say good.
Yeah. Oh, yep. Okay. So just make sure you put that in the chat, bitch.
Why?
Just do it. I told you to. Do it. Anyway, good. All right. So, yeah. What was your question again? Got distracted.
Who, me?
Yeah. So, what was your question?
So
Fucking Graham.
so,
Happy?
So basically I have to sedate him
Yes.
then. Now.
Yes.
I mean, not now, but I mean, like, if he goes crazy, I have no choice but to sedate him. I can't just say, no, I'm not doing it.
Yes. I brought with me a full regiment package of horse tranquilizers. It's the only thing I could steal from the hospital at such short notice. I pull it out. It's literally like top grade horse tranquilizer. And that can be the illegal object.
Yeah. As long as it doesn't say Acme on it, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah, and I show it to him. It's like, you simply need to remove one of these syringes, push it into this device here, and retrieve the horse tranquilizer, and then put it into the neck or the vein of dear Kraz.
Oh, what happens if I miss the vein?
I don't know. I am a doctor, yet I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm a nurse, sorry. Not a doctor. That's why I don't know.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. And then I zip it back up and I concentrate on driving because I noticed that I was starting to swerve off the road because I was looking at him. Fast and the Furious style.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So since that was a good die, I'm gonna give that to Graham for agreeing to be tranquilized by horse tranquilizers. All right, Graham, you're up. What do you want to have a scene with?
I need to speak with Dave Hamilton.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we are now currently at the water tower painted 1986 state championships.
Fair enough.
All right, what do you want to have a conversation about?
I need to know. Okay. So if Brian's the ferryman, that means that you're going to be Virgil. Okay.
Oh my God.
Okay, what is the outcome of this conversation then?
I need to know what happened and where you're taking me.
So whether or not I tell you the truth is related to what Brian has to say, I guess.
I'm going to say that like a good die is you tell me what I want to hear,
Mm-hmm.
and bad die is you tell me the truth and I freak out.
All right, yeah, I'm down with that. So do you want to specify what's happening at the water tower then? Because you get to do that as well.
Does it really have to be anything?
You can say whatever. You could say it's old, rusted out. You could say that it's nighttime. You can say whatever you like.
I say it's got a bunch of like it's nighttime and it's got a bunch of it's rusted and you can't really see what it says, but it's got a bunch of lights that are lighting it up like spotlights.
Would you say that this also defines the year that we're currently doing this in?
No.
No?
I would say it's just an old water tower.
Old water tower? All right. Cool. All right, Graham, take it away. Brian, you know what you're doing? Just put a B in there in the chat for bad and a G for good.
Okay.
But don't interrupt the scene like Graham did. Otherwise, we lose track of what's happening. Go, Graham. Go.
So I wait until after the scene plays out.
No. You, as the scene's playing out, you can vote during. And then Then we will silently merge into that.
Okay.
Graham, take it away.
Okay. I'm going to say that I was actually sleeping until now.
Okay.
So I'm waking up.
Maybe I'm outside having a smoke or something like that. Just looking at this thing, taking a rest.
I'm waking up. As far as I'm concerned, I slept and then I woke up and we're stopped again.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, I stumble out of the car. And I say, Virgil, what happened? I fainted. When the ferryman took me across the river Styx.
I look around, and I look over at Kraz. I'm like,
"My God, is this the gate
Kraz,
to the inferno?"
Calm down. What are you talking about?
And he says, "You promised to lead me down the 9 circles."
Oh, yes, we are on our way. We are simply taking a breather.
Virgil, you look so alive.
Well, I am not dead.
By which path are we going?
We actually have a map lined out. If you take a look over here, I can show you. I pull out the map and I put it on the dashboard. And I see we're currently here at Winifred, and we will be driving all the way over to here.
Oh, ornament of wisdom.
And our final destination is the longitude and latitude that you've been mentioning over here.
Yes, of course.
The Sasquatch.
Finally, the end of the line.
That's exactly where we're going. We're hoping that it'll fix whatever's gone cuckoo in your mind.
Virgil, only by God's good graces has he brought you to me. I'm so very grateful. Except tell that ferryman to stop looking at me. I can't stand his gaze.
That would be Chesterfield you're talking about, I assume.
Yes, the ferryman.
Yes. I will tell him, I suppose.
Again.
Chesterfield, Kraz says you're ugly.
Well, he's ugly too. And I kind of stick my tongue out.
He said that you are quite detestable yourself.
I faint.
Looks like we won't be needing the horse tranquilizers much. We just need to call him ugly.
Put him in the trunk.
I put him in the back seat.
Fair enough.
Yeah. All right, Graham, you get a bad die to give out to someone.
Yeah, it's a Brian for calling me ugly.
All right, there you go, Brian. First bad die. All right, Brian. Yay. You get another round for Act 1.
Okay. So now we are at another toll booth. Is that right?
Yes, we are at another toll booth, and maybe you're driving this time or something like that. And
yeah, sure.
So you can have an NPC interaction here. You don't necessarily have to talk to myself, and you don't have to talk to Hamilton or Kraz. You can have interaction with an NPC whenever you want.
Okay, well, actually, that actually sounds like a pretty good idea. My idea of the way I set the scene up is that as we're pulling up to the toll booth, Kraz is in the back, sort of like rummaging around stuff, and he, as we pull up to the toll booth, he lifts out of sort of the luggage in the back seat of a car. a Spider-Man costume, and that's like the first thing that the toll booth operator sees as the car pulls up, and
Alright.
he kind of like is looking at me weird.
All right, I'm gonna be. I'll play the toll booth operator then, and
All
since
right.
Graham's still in the scene, sorry, Kraz is in the scene. But Graham, you get to choose whether or not the outcome is successful. So, what do you want the outcome to be?
I want to convince the toll booth operator that Kraz is a children's birthday party performer. And we're taking him to a gig of his.
It's not.
and-
It's not. It's not. It's not like
Who
a fucking.
cares?
It's not like a.
What? Why does he care?
Chesterfield cares very much about how other people perceive him.
He's a toll booth operator.
And the toll booth operators are looking at him like, why is this grown man playing with a Spider-Man costume in the backseat of this dude's
All
car?
right. Okay. All right. Okay. So, so that's what happened. All right. So you drive on up, and Vermont is standing there. And he's looking pretty fucking like, toll booth operator style. He's like, that'll be $4.50.
$4.50?
I look back and I'm like, all right, Kraz, don't worry about it. I got this. It's not that expensive.
Excuse me, sir. Is that man putting on a Spider-Man costume?
Yeah, don't worry about him, sir. I'm like rummaging around like in the center console for change. Don't worry about him. That's my brother-in-law. He works children's birthday parties, and the parents requested Spider-Man, so he's just getting into character.
Full nude, getting into the costume.
I didn't know Spider-Man had a Fu Manchu. It's kind of
That's what the mask is for. It covers it all up. The kids don't know; they're young.
But I wouldn't want that guy working my kids.
Well, good thing he's not working your kid's birthday party, and I sort of like throw the money in the toll and try to drive off.
Graham, what do you want the result of this be? Does the guy think badly or good of you?
Badly.
Badly. All right. So
No,
as
my
you're
worst
driving
fear.
off, I check the. He checks the change and he's like, I don't know how I feel about taking pedophile money. And then the gate opens and you drive away, I guess.
He wipes off the change with like a disinfectant wipe and puts it in the till.
Yeah. He's wearing like fucking blue gloves and he's just like, I gotta throw these away.
You guys ever seen a toll booth in your lives? My goodness.
Yeah. Alright, so you get a bad die to give out?
I will give the bad die to Graham for making the toll booth operator think that I'm ferrying around a pedophile.
Whose fault is that? I was perfectly fine in my tree.
Alright. Alright, so the place we're up next is the Railroad Museum that always has a sign, turn back in 15 minutes. Alright, so I guess this conversation is going to happen with maybe, I don't know, Kraz? I guess? And the result I want, like I want it to be a bad die. And the result I want is, I want Kraz to go crazy because of the fact that he can't get in to see the Railroad Museum. so Chesterfield has to, with the tranquilizer.
Oh, God.
So you guys are free to set up the scene however you want, but that's what the result is going to be.
Okay, I guess, I see us, we're, driving down the road, and I see, an exit sign, and it has one of those signs that says, like, tourist destination, old-timey railroad museum. And I look in the rearview mirror and say, Kraz, you like trains, don't you? And then we're going to pull in there to take a look.
Does Kraz in fact like trains?
Yes.
Lucky guess.
God damn it, how did you know? Okay, so...
He, slowly covers up a bunch of train toys that he brought with him. How did you know?
he's in the back seat, feet up in the air. like not even seatbelted in, just like pushing a fake train along the seat. I don't know why he's reverted to infant status all of a sudden. But
Well, you guys, you just said that.
yeah. All right. So I guess
I'm like 40 years old.
Alright.
Just like trains, okay? God.
God. So alright, we get out and I'm just like,
Well, I say that there's a. Can we say that there's like a front car to a train? What's it called?
An engine?
An engine, yeah.
Yeah, like outside. It's like and it's red.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Alright, so yeah, I'm just like, Kraz, how would you like to take a break and come with us inside?
I am in the third circle of the torments. Here to all time, with neither pause nor change, the frozen rain of hell descends in torrents.
I
I'll
take
say,
that as a yes. I grab his hand and I bring
Yeah.
him inside.
So you know what helps with torrents? A visit to the Railroad Museum.
Absolutely. And we go up into the door, and we stand there for a minute, and then I grab the handle, and I try and push it in violently and shake it, it's not opening. And then I turn back to, Kraz, and I can see him visibly getting more and more distraught.
I'll say, Hamilton, I see a sign on the door that says they'll be back in 15 minutes. Should we just wait?
Absolutely. I mean, 15 minutes doesn't seem like that long of a time to wait.
Oh, no, I'm sure they'll be back soon. They probably just had to take a bathroom break.
It's a long dookie.
Oh, he likes to read, I'm sure.
So we wait for 15 minutes.
All right.
Nothing happens.
All right.
Alright.
So I would say, like, if Kraz is getting more irritated, like, we try to, like,
No,
I
I'm
try
not
to
being
fake-
irritating. What?
well, okay, so, yeah, that's true. So I'll ask Hamilton, like, do you think maybe he has a concept of time? Meaning Kraz.
He is not an idiot, sir.
Mm.
He is but a man who is delusional.
So I've
So-
wandered over to the engine.
Yeah, right.
So I'm gonna test that theory then, and I'll yell over to Kraz. Don't worry, Kraz. It looks like they're just on a break, and they'll be back in about 15 minutes.
Look, here.
Look where?
Monstrous Cerberus, the ravening beasts. His eyes are red, his beard greased with phlegm, belly swollen, and I run down and I show you that his belly is swollen. His hands are claws to rip the wretches.
Okay. Well, this is a train engine. You hook other cars behind it on the rail, and it pulls them to their destination.
At
Here,
this point,
Monstrous Cerberus guards our access to the museum.
yes, I'm looking for the man now. I can't seem to find him. I'm like looking in the windows and stuff like that.
Like, he'll be back in 15 minutes.
We wait another 15 minutes. What does Kraz do in that time?
I say, Virgil, your agony weighs on my heart. But tell me, what is it to be? And I go and ask Spider-Man. I'm still wearing the Spider-Man costume. I will attempt to climb the building.
Okay. Chesterfield, maybe you should grab the man.
Yeah. So I've sort of like reach into the car and
Virgil, it's the least I can do.
pull out the pack with the tranquilizer in it, and come up behind Kraz. And as I shove the tranquilizer into the vein in his neck, I start just going shh,
You
like
him to sleep.
real quietly in his ear, just shh, you sleep now.
All right,
sleep
Graham.
now.
I'll let you decide this. How many tranquilizers does it take?
All of them.
All of them.
He's just like ah!
Each time I stab him in the neck, he yells a little bit quieter.
Ah!
Oh, yeah, I'm not yelling. I continue to louder and louder quote pieces of Dante's Inferno. That's what I've been doing.
Oh God. All right.
I kind of look back over my shoulder and be like, how many of these is it supposed to take?
Well, one for a horse. Don't
So
kill the
after,
man.
yeah. So basically, I'll just keep. I'm just gonna keep injecting him until he,
I died.
well,
Die.
releases his grip from the wall and falls into a sweet, quiet
I'm like, I was
slumber.
like, it's not working instantly. Quickly, inject him with more.
Yeah. Is this instantaneous? Good.
Yeah.
I am the one who weeps. Yeah, I fall asleep.
All right. Okay. So that was what, a bad day for Grant? Yeah, bad day. I said it would be. So I'm gonna give that to Brian for injecting a sick man with multiple.
Even though that's what you told me to do, you're the nurse.
I said one, and you're like, I'll put all of them in
One?
him.
One means everything, right?
Yeah. All right, Graham, you can define. Maybe you have like a lucid dream or something. I don't.
No, this is much later.
Much later, yeah. So this location is a strip mining operation that's suspiciously quiet.
I want to. So the purpose of this scene is to turn the radio on in order to communicate with my spirit family.
So you take the tinfoil hat off. Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah, I have to. I try to get forward to turn on the radio.
So so you're trying to take the radio away from one of us. Is that what you're saying?
No, it's a car.
Okay.
It's got a radio.
Yeah, no. So what,
I have used found materials from the back seat to fashion a long stick that I can use to change the channel and stuff.
all right. Okay.
And so I intend to knock out whoever's in the passenger seat
with
it as Spider-Man.
So that's what you want to happen. I want
to turn on the radio.
All right, you want to turn on the radio, and you want to knock out the passenger.
Yep.
God, this is turning into like the worst fucking game I've ever had. Okay. All right. So I guess who would be driving?
Brian.
Brian.
Okay,
All right.
I'm driving. All right.
So here's what happens. Brian, you get to decide whether or not I get knocked out and whether Graham gets his radio turned on.
Does he have to get both, or can he have one and not the other?
No, if he passes, he gets both. That's what he said he wanted to happen. So.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, so we're driving along, and in the background there's a strip mining operation, I guess. That's just sort of the back piece for this. We're just in a car driving.
Not important.
Not important, yeah. And at the corner of my eye, I see this sort of like stick coming towards towards the radio.
Yeah, sure.
It's coming towards the radio, and I'm like, oh fuck no, this is my favorite song. I like grab the stick.
No, the radio's off because it irritates me.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Sure. Yep. Yeah. You go
But
into.
I look very docile and very innocent at this moment.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spider-Man always looks innocent.
You guys know that I keep trying to turn on the radio, but you also know that as soon as I do, I become very erratic.
Okay. Yeah. Sure.
But I like doing it anyway.
Sure.
And so I'm gonna try to turn the radio on, but you're not supposed to let me.
All right. Cool. Then I will attempt to wrestle the stick out of your.
It's how I talk to the otherworldly beings. Well, I look very docile. You don't see any stick yet. I say, "Excuse me, Virgil."
You need to call me by my name. It is Hamilton.
What's going on? What's up?
Well, there's a strip mining operation.
I'm leaning up in between the seats.
All right. Was that a green? Are you saying that he gets to do what he wants?
Yeah.
And I say, how's it going? And I kind of force my way up between the seats, and then I elbow you in the face.
Well, here's what I
knock
actually
you
thought
out.
would happen, Graham, and you can say whether or not you want this to happen. But I sort of go, oh, if you look out the window to our, God, which side does the passenger sit on?
Right.
Right.
Sits
Yeah,
on the right
I
side?
take your head and I bash it into the window.
Yeah, glad we use all that horse trank.
Yeah. I kind of like go, oh my god. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, no, just keep driving. I put the stick underneath your neck, underneath the bottom of your head.
Okay.
Said, I'm
Okay.
gonna turn on the radio and you can't stop me.
All right, fine. Turn it on. God.
All right.
Oh. Alright, well, I'm turning that down because bye mute. There you go. Damn.
Okay, I communicated with the otherworldlies. All set.
Alright, so what is the result of 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 me getting knocked out? Like, what is Chesterfield doing in this situation?
You died.
Well,
I died.
I'm now. He dies. I'm now absolutely terrified of Kraz because we're out of force tranquilizer.
Yeah.
Because I had to use all of it to pull Spider-Man off the building. So I'm going to yell back at Kraz and be like, Kraz, you need to stop being violent. If you don't stop being violent, I'm not going to ferry you to hell or wherever the hell it is you're trying to go. You need to be kind
Don't
to
make
the
me fire
people.
this.
What's that?
Don't make me fire this.
Fire what?
This shotgun
What shotgun?
right here.
I hit the brakes and sort of skid to a stop right next to an
Yeah.
abandoned mining truck.
Hamilton's head goes from laying back to like hitting the front of
Yeah.
the dashboard
Yeah.
and then falling back again.
And then after we've stopped, the airbag on the passenger side comes out and does absolutely nothing to protect him.
Yeah, he hits his head on it. His head goes back,
Just
then it goes.
poof. So at this point, as the car pulls to a screeching halt, I open up the door and do a little tuck and roll and hide behind one of like the giant tires of this old mining truck.
All right, fair enough. I get in the driver's seat and I take off.
A single tear falls from my eye
Alright.
as I watch them drive away.
I think I engineered my own tilt. So
Yeah.
It is very tilt. Alright, you get a good die since that happened. So, Graham, who do you want to give it to?
I'll give it to
Probably.
Dave.
Yeah.
Oh,
alright.
yeah, not the guy that you just ditched.
No, I'm the one I knocked out.
The one he knocked out. Alright. Okay, so, so the next scene is Brian. You're by yourself.
Okay.
Sorry.
Well,
Chesterfield by himself.
we can say like you caught up at the next scene.
Well, right. Well, actually, that's kind of what I had in mind.
You know where I'm going.
Yeah, I know where he's going. But I was going to say is I'm going to start walking away from the strip mining thing. And I have in my head that Kraz is so erratic that he's sort of like not so much driving in circles, but taking the long way around. So, like, as I'm walking, I see this sip and gulp, and I walk in there. I'm going to ask the man at the counter if he's
See,
seen any.
what you're doing right now, this is an entire scene. This is what the tilt is right now. So we actually finished Act. That's right, we finished Act 1. So did you say that you go to the sip and gulp?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'm going to go to the sip and gulp.
All right.
Yeah.
And that's where we go to Act 2, I guess. But before we do that, we need to go to the tilt. So the way that the tilt works is that whoever has the highest of either die, which is Graham and Brian, you two will need to decide on the tilt.
Yeah.
So if we go, the tilt is, where's the tilt? Tilt table, there we go. Alright, so Graham, you get to go first since you have the good die. You get to pick the table. So why don't you roll me a 1d6, please?
Have to roll.
Yep. Alright, so you get tragedy. Ooh. Okay. Brian, roll me a 1d6.
It's not really a choice,
It's not really a choice, no.
so that's dumb.
2.
Somebody's life is forever changed in a bad way. Interesting.
Yep, but Dave dies.
I
kill
wake
him
up
and-
and then I'm talking like Graham.
I kill him and use his body for spare parts.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, so guys, we're going to take a quick break, 3 to 5, while we sort out the parts of the tilt and how they affect the game. Don't go anywhere. We got another act to come after this. So yeah, enjoy the break music. Enjoy Kanye West, I guess.